Hey everybody, it's Judy. This week's Monday Mindset theme is don't wait for perfect, just get started. And here's the thing, a lot of us get stuck in perfection and it shows up in different ways. So here are the 5 ways that I've seen that perfection can get in our way. Number 1 is it can get in our way if we get hooked on hiding behind having high standards. So having high standards is great, but if you take it to the extent that they've got to be, you've got to be perfect, that's actually lying to yourself because it's a standard you'll never reach. So don't waste time in that kind of perfectionism of waiting on high standards. Number 2 is, do you have that level of perfection that you want the approval of other people? Well, especially if you are an entrepreneur, half the time, if you're waiting for other people's approval, it's never going to happen. And when I think it's a good thing that if you're wanting to meet the needs of your customers, that's one thing. But if you're searching for approval that you're doing the right thing or you're taking the right steps, you're wasting time when you actually could be implementing some of the steps that you have for your 2018 plan of how you want to move forward. Because that way, when you start implementing, you get feedback as to whether or not you need to course correct or not. Number 2 is, do you keep it in your head? Do you plan a lot in your head and think about it and think about it and think about it, but get stuck in that inertia of not moving? So that's a form of perfectionism that can actually stall us into procrastination too, which is very similar. They're like cousins. Perfectionism and procrastination are kind of like definitely kissing cousins. So don't get stuck in your head and thinking about all the plans that you want to do. Actually write the plans down. So number 4 is, do you plan a lot? So that's like, okay, I do the plan, but do you have plans of plans? So do you get stuck in that phase of, I need to make it down to the final detail of what it needs to be in order to pull the trigger? So that's also a level of perfectionism that can stall you from even getting started in terms of what you want to do for this year in 2018. And number 5 is, do you mind the gap too much? Again, it's a great strength if you're the type of person that can identify what the areas of risk are or what the areas that you could make mistakes or things could fall through the cracks. That's an excellent skill. But if you are spending too much time focusing on the gaps and where things aren't going to work, it could definitely stall you into that perfectionism zone and the procrastination. So those are my top 5 ways that I've seen perfectionism show up and really stop people from just getting started. And so let me just summarize where you can be or where you can be focusing your energy. Number 1, get realistic standards. Number 2, get into action. Actually try the things and implement the things that you really want to do. Number 3 is get out of your head, right? Being in your head is only going to perpetuate more thinking and more trying to figure it out. Number 4, focus on what's good enough, right? The most successful people focus on how far they've come, not how far they have to go. So that can also propel you into action. And number 5 is give yourself the approval that you're seeking from everyone else. Because when you approve of yourself and you come from that really confident place, there's nothing that you can't do. So here I am here for you, and I'm also cheering you on for your 2018 plan. Don't wait for perfect, just get started. And I will see you next Monday for our next Monday Mindset. Have a great week. See you then. Bye.